All right, ladies and gentlemen, what we have here is the Speedmaster small block Mopar cylinder head. This is the CNC ported version. It took a little while to get these, bought them on Black Friday, didn't get them until late January, which is fine. It's Minnesota. You can see the CNC job on the exhaust ports. Overall, the head looks pretty nice. I have one in the car already. Over here. I wanted to put one on and get one kind of together to give you an idea of what I had to do to get these to work. But for the most part, they look really nice. Put this over here. Get in on the intake side. Look like they'll flow very nicely. You can see we're gonna have to do a little cleanup on them from where the CNC went through the tapped hole for the valve cover on each of these. It's only on the one side. A guy could go in there and do some more work and do some cleanup, but we're not going to. We're just gonna throw them on the car and see what happens. This is the chamber side. Obviously, you can still see some CNC work done in there. These are 68cc chamber now after what they do to them, which is smaller than the J head, which is right here. But one of the things I noticed is right off the bat, I checked for the gasket match on the gaskets I'm going to run on the intake side, and they look really, really good. In fact, gasket looks like it hangs over a little bit in spots, which kind of sucks a little bit, but it's not the end of the world. So that's nice. These are the rockers I'm going to go with them. And these are machined to accept the standard rocker shafts off your small block Mopar, or their roller rockers. But one of the things I did notice, just use this as a straight edge, you can see that the valve stems are not at the same height. So if you were to run a standard Mopar rocker, you know that they want them all the same. So I'm either gonna have to run different length push rods on intake and exhaust, or just use theirs, which I'm probably just going to use theirs. I already kind of messed around with the one. I'm going to set this rocker on here and I'll show you if this one does the same thing here. All right, we do in fact have the same problem as we had on the first one. Rocker assembly is installed. It's not torqued down, but it's snugged down. You can see that one's tight, but not terrible. This one is extremely tight. So it's rubbing. There we go. The spring and the retainer are hitting the inside of that rocker right there. So on the other head in the car, instead of having to do this to all of them and taking off a reasonable amount of material to get them to actually just be loose on there. And it's not a shimming issue. Granted, we needed to shim that one differently to get everything to line up, but they do, you know, at least give you a bunch of different size shims to work with there, so that's nice. But I see I'm gonna have to take this all apart and do a bunch of grinding to get those to clearance enough. Now I get the fact that it doesn't need to go down any further than what this is, like rolled forward, but it doesn't even want to go any more than that. They are rock solid. So also keep in mind, here's the paperwork I get. Speedmaster Pro Comp. CNC porting increases the flow of the head and can provide with considerable power gain. Unfortunately, this process also weakens the valve seat area on the head. We are not responsible for failure in this area and will not warranty these failures. All other areas of the head are still covered by manufacturer warranty. So basically, we CNC'd them. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Sorry, you're out of luck. So I guess that's what's going to happen. So here it is in the car. I was hoping to get by with the push rods that if I decided to use the factory rockers, which again I can't, they weren't going to work anyways. They're about 100 thousandths too long. The ones that I had, which I had 7.5s in here, it really wants 7.4s, and with the ball and cup it's like 7 1/16, 7.125 to be exact. So yep, there you have it. We're gonna slap this together, do some grinding, get dirty with it, and get this motor back together. All right, here's the example of one of these rockers, the one that was extremely stiff. You can see the anodized part actually rubbed away there on the rocker itself. And if you actually look on the spring there, you can see the rub mark again. So we're gonna just take the Dremel and sand some material away, get it to free up, and do that for all 8 of them. Woohoo!